Towson Town Center is one of the more interesting malls I've visited lately. It's the third largest mall in Maryland, and on the surface, it seems to be doing pretty well. With 4 levels of shopping, a solid mix of upscale retailers and popular chains, very few empty storefronts, and plenty of foot traffic, it looks like a success story. But, are things really as fine and dandy as they might appear? Let's find out. Towson Town Center, originally called Towson Plaza, opened on May 13, 1959 as an open-air shopping center on land acquired from Goucher College. The center was located across the street from Hutzler's, which itself had opened in 1952 as the company's first branch location. Much of the original structure still remains intact today as part of the mall's first 2 floors. The mall was enclosed in 1973, then renovated in 1982. Also in 1982, Hex opened in the parking lot, though it wasn't connected to the mall yet at that point. A major 1991 renovation saw the arrival of Nordstrom, as well as the construction of the 3rd and 4th floors, running between Hex and Nordstrom with a parking garage beneath them. The result is a very unique V-shaped layout, where the 1st and 2nd floors don't align with the 3rd and 4th floors. It's almost like you have one 2-level mall, which meets another 2-level mall by the Nordstrom. In 1998, Trizek Hahn sold Towson Town Center to the Rouse Company as part of a $1.1 billion deal that included 6 other malls. The Rouse Company itself was acquired by General Growth Properties, or GGP, in 2004, giving GGP ownership of Towson Town Center. Hex, of course, became Macy's in 2006. In 2007, the mall underwent a massive $76 million expansion and renovation project. In particular, the 1st and 2nd floors were expanded westward toward Delaney Valley Road. A Main Street-style exterior facade was added, with Crate and Barrel, as well as several restaurants, Stony River, the Cheesecake Factory, P.F. Chang's, and TGI Fridays. In 2016, the mall began renovations which saw the addition of Park Assist technology, which uses green and red lights to show visitors which spots are available. Additionally, pedestrian bridges from the parking garages to the mall were enclosed, more lighting and convex mirrors were added for increased safety, and mall entrances and signage were updated. In 2018, Towson Town Center was acquired by its current owner, Brookfield, when Brookfield bought GGP. And I have to say, I've been rather impressed with most of the Brookfield malls I've visited. It seems like they're one of the better mall owners. They actually take care of their properties and manage to keep in tenants while even attracting new ones. The occupancy rate was 93% in 2019, and while I couldn't find a more recent figure than that, it can't be much lower now. maybe 85% at worst, but probably closer to 90%. On top of all the restaurants, this mall also has a great food court with plenty of options available. Even the pickiest of eaters should be able to find something they like here. As of my visit, there was only one vacant eatery, Tony and Benny's Pizza, which seemingly closed in the last few months. But I'm sure that space won't be vacant for long. And I wouldn't be surprised to see another pizza place move in, since that seems to be a mandatory part of mall food courts. One thing I found interesting about Towson Town Center is how seamlessly it fits into the fabric of downtown Towson. Unlike many suburban malls surrounded by sprawling parking lots, this mall makes efficient use of its footprint, with most of the parking tucked into multi-level garages. The mall itself takes up nearly all of the property it sits on, blending into the surrounding streetscape. In fact, if you're just driving by, you might not even realize it's a mall. This is a very pedestrian-friendly area, which is great to see. I will say, though, that the parking garages are very tight and navigating them can be a bit of an adventure. Something I was surprised to learn about this mall is that it's seemingly a bit of a crime magnet. I didn't know that while I was here, and personally, I didn't feel unsafe or uncomfortable at all. But there have been a number of incidents here over the years, many of which have taken place in the parking garages. In 2005, there was a fatal incident involving a local high school teacher in one of the parking garages. This came as a shock and led to concerns that inner-city crime from Baltimore was spilling over into the suburbs. Keep in mind, we're 8 miles north of downtown Baltimore. In the years that followed, there were multiple reports of armed robberies, prompting the mall to implement a number of new security measures. In 2011, just 6 days before Christmas, a man lost his life in what turned out to be a gang-related shooting near the Nordstrom. Then, on April 23, 2012, a couple was robbed at gunpoint by 3 men in one of the parking garages. In that case, the suspects were never apprehended. In December 2015, a cell phone video emerged which showed a large disturbance at the mall. Teenagers were accused of throwing rocks at police officers, and as a result, the mall implemented a policy banning minors from entering the property after 5 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays, unless accompanied by an adult. That policy is still in effect, now from 4 p.m. According to the Baltimore County Police Department, there were 425 reported incidents in the 800 block of Delaney Valley Road, which is where the mall is located, in 2022. 551 incidents in 2023, and about 500 incidents in 2024. These incidents have included thefts, assaults, burglaries, destruction of property, robberies, and carjackings. But despite all of this, Towson Town Center does still attract a lot of shoppers, and it seems to be doing quite well for itself. As fun as it is to explore dead malls, I do love seeing thriving malls like this. So what makes Towson Town Center continue to thrive in this day and age? Well, for starters, it's just a few blocks south of the Baltimore Beltway, so it's easily accessible by car. But Towson itself is a very walkable town, so you don't necessarily need a car to get here if you live in the area. In that sense, it kind of feels like the kind of mall you'd find in Europe, more integrated into the community than surrounded by endless parking lots. Towson University is also right nearby, which brings in a steady flow of students. This mall reminds me a lot of Cherry Hill Mall in New Jersey or Christiana Mall in Delaware. Upscale, but not over the top like King of Prussia Mall in Pennsylvania. You've got Macy's and Nordstrom as anchors, along with higher-end retailers like Apple, Banana Republic, Coach, White House Black Market, Sephora, and Lululemon. But there's also a solid mix of more typical mall staples. Bath & Body Works, H&M, Lids, Rainbow, The Children's Place, and Hot Topic. That blend of upscale and middle market stores seems to be a common trend among many of the malls I know of that are still doing well today. I like Towson Town Center, I really do. I like the unique layout, I like the selection of stores, I like that it still has fountains even if they aren't the most spectacular. The only thing that worries me is the crime in the area. I hope that it can be brought under control because I would hate to see a great mall like this die because people don't feel safe coming here. Hopefully security can keep things under control. I had to walk through the round one to get back to where I started. I was debating whether to include this footage in the video, but I figured why not. That'll about wrap up the tour. What are your thoughts on Towson Town Center? Have you been here before, and if so, what was your experience? Leave a comment and let me know. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing too if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. So long, Towson Town Center.